Hey everyone, welcome back to the rollout. I'm Linsay Rousseau.
And I'm Genevieve Marie. Hello and welcome.
Yay.
Today we are coming back to you with another episode of What If. It seems to be a trend that zombies.
I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It really is. Well, each one is so different that
we've loved them, we've hated them.
Right.
You know.
It goes to the point where we have loved them, have been just like enraptured by them, and then points where we're just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
What is happening?
If you wonder what we're talking about, please go back 3 episodes and watch our episode on episodes 3 and 4, WTF.
Yeah. Episode 3 and 4, we covered episode 1 and 2,
which we generally enjoyed.
It's all over the board for us personally. I'm sure that the rest of the internet is probably agreeing with us on certain points here and there.
But today we have one of our favorite guests back.
Oh, my favorite.
We have Tyler McPhail from the Grand Geek Gathering. Tyler, welcome back.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I always have a blast on these shows. So yay.
I love the entrance caca. That was lovely.
Oh, that wasn't even supposed to be. Yeah, I was just excited. It's just my exciting noise. It just kind of comes out. Like,
Good. Well, we're glad you're excited and not the opposite of that.
Right.
Yeah, right. I know.
I'm feeling better about these episodes than the previous 2, but we'll see.
I only do shows I hate. So just kidding.
I only go on to torture myself. I like the pain.
Well, we made ourselves do that with Wonder Woman 1984, Tyler. So you know,
yeah, we did our own 1984 episode.
We did a whole hour on.
Dude, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of become all right. So there was a moment in time where Cats the movie was my rabbit hole for YouTube videos, and then following after that was Wonder Woman 1984, falling down that rabbit hole. So I have a pattern. So I will skulk out your video and I'll watch it.
I liked it because I feel like that there is a better movie. I just like I'll do this very TLDR. I'm just like maybe Jeff Johns and oh my God, I forgot the director's name. I think they just had too much.
Patty Jenkins.
Thank you, Patty Jenkins. I cannot believe I forgot her name. But like I think they had too much freedom at that point where where like a director sometimes just like gets too much into their product and you're just like
George
that's
Lucas, the prequels
right. Exactly. I think we made that comparison.
Oh cool, perfect. Oh man. But I'm excited to talk about the other like Marvel.
The other Marvel.
Yeah. So let's start with zombies.
Let's start with zombies.
We'll just go in order. Zombies. Okay. This was the one that I think everybody was looking forward to.
Who doesn't love zombies? I mean, this country is obsessed with zombies. I mean,
we really are.
Fear the Walking Dead, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare zombies. I mean, zombies everywhere.
Zombies, I feel, are the first world problem monsters. I really do. They really do speak to our generation and our time. I mean, you have the you have John Carpenter making his very impressive statement about consumerism and zombies and how they're interlinked. This one had nothing to do with consumerism or or a commentary on that. The thing that I noticed right away was, yes, Peter Parker goes through the rules of zombies, which was fun and interesting. I really think that
all
Peter
the tropes
Parker was 100% very much Peter Parker and Spider-Man in this. I was actually very impressed and pleased about that because we have seen in the past Spider-Man be having like takes on him be so wrong. Right. And so to get a good and correct reading of Spider-Man is so nice. But the thing that I noticed, it's refreshing, really.
It was. I mean, and again, I think that this is one, it was the writing, but also I think this is one of the reasons everyone loves Tom Holland's Spider-Man is he's just got that youthful, still that sense of innocence, even though he's obviously been through a lot, death and, everything, Tony dying. But I feel
like it worked because he didn't have the burden of Tony Stark's death.
Exactly.
You know, there are a lot of things to be said about that dynamic. Like, I know people just like freaking love that dynamic. But I won't go deep into it in this show, but I just think that it kind of can often butt up against what Spider-Man is all about.
Right.
But I'll leave that for a different time.
Sure.
I'll be dragged on Twitter for that at a different time. But what I noticed was that the zombies, spoilers for those who I don't know. Why are you watching this?
Ago. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everything is spoilers at this point forward. The zombies seem to have like some type of sentience. They knew how to use their magic.
They knew how to use their powers and their suits.
And their suits and their weapons and stuff. So it's just that was one thing that I had to get used to. That was just kind of like a square wheel, just kind of
as soon as Iron Man lit up, I was like, oh, okay. So zombies know how to operate super suits. Cool.
Yeah, tell me, Tyler, make it make sense.
Okay, so there's a bunch to unwrap here. So first off, have y'all read the comic book series?
The What If comic book
I have not read.
Oh, no, just Marvel Zombies from Robert Kirkman.
Oh, that I had not read, no.
Okay, cool. Me neither. So I'm not going to say anything else because I don't even know.
We can speculate.
Yeah, we can speculate. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that none of us have read it because I know I didn't. I at least wasn't going to out myself, be like, did y'all? I was hoping y'all read it so y'all could be like,
well, now I'm going to have to, and I am instantly Googling it. Yeah,
Tyler. All right, so you're bringing up a great point here, and that's we're going into this as blind audience members, and that's extremely important when a filmmaker tries to get a message across. So.
I knew a little bit because I read because like Robert Kirkman is fascinating and I think he's just very entertaining anyway. I don't like, and I was gonna say this at the beginning, I am one of those people who I don't like zombies. I liked them for a little bit, but now that we've gotten them about everything a plethora, like I'm surprised Muppet Zombies hasn't come out yet.
Are they the new vampires? They really
you know what? I think I'll take vampires over zombies.
Yeah, honestly. I've never gotten tired of vampires. Like as much as I don't like Twilight, I still am glad that vampires are still there. Where zombies, I think like you said, zombies were there to kind of like expose commercialism, and then they just became commercialism.
Right. And now it's just so we can expose blood and gore because we like gory stuff.
Well, I mean, late stage capitalism. We're not just in it, we are almost beyond the effects of late stage capitalism. We are at the point where it's about to all
I mean the housing crisis has exploded,
making a statement about when people had it good and they could go to the mall and that was all their life was consume when things were good, and at a high point it kind of is redundant and it's an old hat, and we don't need to make that statement anymore because we're not living in that time anymore.
I love the Walking Dead comics and the show. I was surprised at, but I also was just like, there's too many other good things that are on right now. Like Game of Thrones was on and stuff like that, and when Game of Thrones was good, but like there were so many other things to watch, and I was like, I've already read the comics, and this is great. When we had it, when we weren't destroyed. But ever since Walking Dead, like everything, like I mean, zombies just became this like so wide, like kind of like my hairline, like just so. Like just everywhere. It was just. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I'm like looking at it. I'm just like, oh my god, it's like the moon. But anyway, and so
maybe I should get bangs.
I'm usually wear
I've had bangs. I've had bangs because I thought
I'll never get bangs again.
No, I won't do it again.
But no, and so like this episode. The only thing I knew about the comic book was that the Hulk was a zombie, and I'm like. BS. I don't like that. Like I actually don't. That doesn't make any sense. If Bruce Banner can't kill himself, then why would he turn into a zombie? Like I understand, but like wouldn't the Hulk still protect him from the virus? Like I mean, if he poisons himself or he does, I mean, like the Hulk has been in a lot of situations, and it's like it's just emotions that can overcome the Hulk if he becomes red, gray, or whatnot. And so. I don't know. I always think Hulk becoming a zombie was crap. That's why I liked this episode plainly or solely because the Hulk was not a zombie on screen. Now,
right, we never saw it. We never saw it. We just see him be consumed.
If they do a part 2, there probably will be. And I'm gonna be like, I don't think him and like even Logan or Deadpool should be zombies. Like, well, maybe Deadpool. I think his body would willingly just be like, yes, this is weird and funky. I like this. But like,
join the club.
Right, exactly.
Like it's a party.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, ooh, what's this? This is new. But yeah, I don't know. But like, so this episode was cool. I liked it. Even though I'm so tired of zombies, but I one thing that bugged me, and this is a really nitpicky thing, Spider-Man Spidey sense didn't work, and it really bothered me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It really bothered me a lot. It bothered me so much, and like those like the smallest thing in the episode, and I was just like, okay, great, they lost me. I don't need this table flip. No. But yeah.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's continual
spiral.
Jokey joke antics really bothered me. I'm like, literally every single line he had was a joke, and I'm like, if you crack another joke.
Polka Dot Man?
I swear to God.
Wait, you're talking about Polka Dot Man, right?
Ant-Man?
No, Ant-Man.
Wait, Ant-Man was in it? I thought he was already a zombie.
He had his head like,
oh
yeah,
my God.
Paul Rudd head.
Right, the talking head.
I was sorry. I'm just so happy that Polka Dot Man is in like everything like now. I'm so sorry. I forgot the actor. I just had to say the actor's name. I know it was like D but like, sorry. I just watched it too. I couldn't believe I forgot Ant-Man was in it because I was so happy to see Polka Dot Man.
Well, he wasn't Ant-Man, he was Scott, but yeah.
He's a mother. Talk about
he's a mother effing
random
superhero.
Things.
Sorry.
Now I expect to have you call me and be like, yeah, I was in the drive-thru at McDonald's trying to get breakfast the other day, and I just blurted out Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man. No, I love that actor.
Like, how can I help you, sir? Polka Dot Man.
Yeah,
we don't have that on offering.
Right.
Would you like a McMuffin?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, the Russian or whatever his name is, like he plays the Russian in Ant-Man movies, and then
right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
the Russian guy was funny. I kind of randomly liked that they had him in it because he's just such a random character.
Yeah.
But Scott himself, I was like, I need you to be quiet.
Yeah, I just completely forgot he was in it. Like,
yeah, you probably just blocked it out. I mean, I know they were trying to give levity to a gory zombie episode, but like we already kind of had that with Peter, so like it wasn't really necessary.
Even Happy was like really funny.
Yeah, Happy was pretty happy. I mean, I think Marvel was like, okay, guys, we're going super dark with like flesh-eating monsters, so let's up the joke factor.
The jokey jokes.
Can I say something I was like really upset with too, as well? Like nobody else on the internet is talking about. This would have been a perfect time to see Hawkeye as Ronin for a completely different reason. Like what if they did or I just said the name of the show. But no, but what if like this was another reason? Like basically, it's kind of saying there are so many different ways that would trigger Hawkeye to become Ronin. That would be like I don't know. That would have been really cool. Why is nobody talking about that?
You heard it. You heard it first here.
Nobody thought about it.
First here, guys. Hawkeye is Ronin in Zombieland. Yeah, in Zombieland.
Right. Yeah.
But
I have to feel bad though for like Janet Van Dyne that just gets some raw deal. I mean, I feel like she's kind of like the Sharon Carter of the Ant-Man verse. They just don't know what to do with her. I'm like, she's a brilliant genius, and you turn her into a zombie. And in the movies, you kind of like she has 5 lines, and then that's it, and you move on. And I'm just like. Can we not have more? I mean, yes, I know we probably couldn't get Michelle Pfeiffer for the recording, but as we'll see in the next episode, it doesn't matter because if you cast a really fucking great voice actor to do the voice, nobody cares. But I was a little miffed that I was like, oh, Janet, oh no, you don't get anything. You're just a zombie. Okay. Yeah. And then Hope, sacrifices herself. I'm like, oh, the sole female. Well, I mean, we had Okoye for a bit and she was pretty awesome, but I was like, okay, so Marvel's improved. Yeah. We had 2.25 women ish.
Sharon Carter was there too, who was pretty cool.
Early. and then dies.
I think that was the thing. Like, so many of them, I just didn't understand why they were in it. Like, I like Happy, but how did he survive and not Captain America? Like,
right.
Like, you would think that Steve, a soldier, would be able to recognize, oh, these are not people. Like, you know, like,
right.
There's so many of them. Like,
maybe Happy was just, I don't know, like chilling on vacation on the Quinjet or something, and then was like, oh no.
Also, why is Okoye the only one who went after T'Challa? Like, shouldn't there be, like, you know,
wouldn't the
5
rest
of them, like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that had way less stakes on there? Like, they
yeah,
had 5
like,
people.
The
5
entire Dora Milaje, you know, they all would have come after.
Yeah. T'Challa's missing and there's zombies. Okay, no, everybody stay here. I got this. It's just like,
but then I was like, okay, so now we have 2 back-to-back
You're better than
episodes
this.
with people trying to destroy Wakanda. We've got zombies trying to destroy Wakanda, and then we've got vibranium robots trying to destroy Wakanda. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? Okay.
Wakanda's a big ticket item, Lindsay.
It is.
Yeah.
It is like the Eden of the
condos
world.
on that land.
But they would have they would have been so fine the whole time. They have all the guys with the shields. Like, all they have to do is just like have like put like scarecrow posts, and then put like the shield what they called, and then like they didn't have to rescue, like, have people. They just have shields, and zombies can't get over it. I don't know. Maybe
yeah. I feel like at this point, Wakanda is the representation of Eden, and the fact that the whole rest of the world has gone to shit, probably because of consumerism. And I don't know, if I was Wakanda, I'd just be like, keep in the dome. Y'all just have fun destroying the world. Except for climate change, that's going to affect them eventually too. So I guess they probably can't do that, but still.
I really thought they were going to go bigger, especially on this one. Like, I'm a little miffed on just what if in general, being like, why are we, like, I understand that there's still a rumor that Namor is going to be, in the next Black Panther movie, but like, this is a perfect opportunity. You don't have to use the same actors. Just introduce the characters we haven't seen, like Doctor Doom and Namor. Now, like, it's not the same world, obviously, so they can do it. And I would have really liked to see, like, Wolverine and stuff.
That was something we talked about early on, was like, this would have been a good opportunity for us to have seen lesser known characters instead of rehashing all of phases 1 through 3, which again are pretty much white cis males, and give us some of, like, we could have had an entire episode about the Dora Milaje, though apparently we are getting a spinoff Dora Milaje show. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're holding out for that. But I'm like, we could have seen some of these characters, or introduced characters that we know are now in the Marvel verse. Why did we have to retell? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like they're dealing with material that they know their audience that specifically watches the films and TV shows will be able to know and grapple with, and be able to pick out the Easter eggs and be like, this thing, the thing I know, the thing I remember, which it's the safe bet. All right. It's why Disney does all the live action remakes, and why they take old IPs and revamp them into something new. It's a safer, it's a smarter business choice. It's a safer bet than going with something new and different and having it potentially fail.
So all of their phase 4, half their phase 4 slate is new and different, with Miss Marvel and with She-Hulk. We are getting
She-Hulk.
I know. that's like the one I'm looking for.
She's like her and Storm, Doctor Doom, and Daredevil are my favorite Marvel characters, and have been for so long.
Well, we know that people are going to be turning out for the movies and for the TV shows. Most definitely the films. We know people are going to be turning out for that because, they're the big blockbusters. That's what you'll get like 2 or 3 Marvel films a year, and that's what you get as far as, things coming to your theater that's any interesting or, fun for the summer. Whereas it's a Disney Plus show. It's also a cartoon. Not like their audience base is going to be smaller, so they need to have the gotcha, the big, AAA draw and with marketing. Their characters.
Oh my god, like the action figures, the action figures for the zombie episode are like legit. Like, I don't want them, but I kind of want them, it's like
resist, Tyler, resist.
I know, right?
You don't need them.
I know, I got to keep buying my Dragon Ball Z figures,
I mean, it was a zombie episode, you know. It's like love it, hate it, whatever, you know. It was like
right. Well, the storytelling was
I can't believe
solid.
Hope was turned.
I was a little miffed about that. I won't lie. I was a little miffed.
I knew it was coming.
You need that big sacrifice in every zombie thing ever. Like you need the big, like, I guess this time a literal big sacrifice.
Right.
That was horrible.
He made it all about hope again, Linsay.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
The message is hope.
The dad joke tingles were like all like our senses were like all going off on that.
Uh-huh.
Well, we were complaining about that for the Avengers All Die episode.
Yeah.
Where they make it all about Hope, and yet Hope has 0 screen time in said episode, which makes it just fall completely on
she's a plot device.
Yeah.
Well, it holds absolutely no emotional weight if you don't actually see the character go through struggles and pains and have that sacrifice.
That's actually my biggest issue with the show.
Well, that was our complaint with the Doctor Strange episode. It's like, oh, he's in love with this woman. We don't even see that. It's not in the movies and it's not in the show. So we're going to believe he's going to destroy the universe for someone that we don't even know he loves. Okay.
Everything is so short and like all of it, there's no weight to it. Like there wasn't even a moment to even say, hey, Aunt May's dead and but Happy's alive. Like there's still like not even that. Like like I understand that, like, you know, Iron Man being dead means not too much, you know, to Peter Parker, because all he knows about that is just like, oh, he flew me out to Germany and got my butt kicked. Like that's all he knows. Like, you know, and so but like Happy wasn't like too distraught, but like but Aunt May's gone. That should have hit Peter like really hard.
He seemed pretty upbeat.
Yeah.
He was just like going through it like it's just a normal Tuesday.
Right.
But yeah, again, Linsay and I talked about the fact that these shows, they're so short. You can only do so much in, you know, so little time. And they definitely do try and cram an entire MCU film plot line into a single show.
A single episode. Yeah.
So you've got these weird jump cuts. They do time skips. They do a ton of other editing shit to circumvent or kind of deal with the fact that they have to cover as much ground in much ground in so little time.
That's my issue with the Captain Carter episode. I was like, I don't care about Steve. Give me let her talk. Like that was how I was feeling the entire time. I'm just I'm like,
okay.
Steve, calm down. She's way more interesting than you are. Okay. Like
I will make an argument for this, and it's 2-pronged. The first one being that there is a certain subset of audience members who would not be able to stand and or take the fact that Steve is not like having a starring role in this and having to be sat with a female lead. And then the second one bless them. And the second argument is, I mean, Disney has discovered this special subset of audience and how loud that they can be on platforms, even though they're a tiny minority, they're the loudest.
Yep.
And that's what majority audience members hear. The second one is that, Steve, it was interesting to see that Steve Rogers still turned out to be an upstanding person.
Oh yeah.
Even without the powers. I think that they really wanted to play with that and kind of, figure that one, that dynamic out as well. I mean, because to me, that was also very interesting. I enjoyed that. But again, that much time
to tell
that much script, not much story.
Yeah, absolutely. With the zombie episode, like I really liked how I felt like that episode also, I think, perfected seeing all the characters that we know. I think that the dialogue between them talking though was really on point. Like almost every word was actually really well written, and you really got to understand how everybody feels, and like you got to kind of love them again. because I felt like you kind of you knew them before, and now like as they're talking, it really felt like the actual characters.
It was definitely true to their
it
was true to their personalities. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
Which even maybe that's why some of the jokiness was very
off-putting,
jarring, was because they're trying to take something that would span a 2-hour movie and condense it into 30 minutes. So it's like they're pulling the highlights of that character, and then it's like, oh, okay, these are what makes this character. But normally that's softened with 2 hours to take it in as opposed to 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I was shocked with the like who the real baddie of the episode was. It's like, that was crazy.
Oh, Vision.
Yeah.
I know. That was interesting.
Vision and Wanda. It all just comes back to Vision and Wanda.
I was going to say
2021 just hates the Vision. Like,
I mean, yes. Are you the ship of Theseus? Is it still real?
Right.
Which I will say, I think that was a clever tie back into WandaVision, but with kind of the reverse dynamic going on, when it's the opposite partner losing the other one. It was cool, and I just love it. And it is really kind of creepy, just the way that he's just so like mechanic and as he would be, because he is a machine, he is a program. Yeah. But how he really, really tapped into that side of himself in order to do what he thought needed to be done.
Yeah, it was like he was like turned on to like survival mode.
Right.
Know? Like it was like really cool. See, like like what you're saying is is completely right. I didn't even think about that. So thank you for saying that, because holy crap.
When people in the zombie movies, usually the thing that they highlight is when people turn on survival mode and people go feral and they start like breaking off into cult factions where they're like killing each other and eating human flesh and all, and doing all this stuff, the taboo stuff, in order to survive. It's literally that trope, but with a program, a machine that has the ability to want to survive and take care of their own. So that was interesting. I thought that was a good
I didn't even think about that. I love that. Thank you so much. Like, seriously, that was awesome.
You're welcome. You can keep that. You can take that one.
I'm gonna spread it around and say, Genevieve said this, everybody.
Yeah. You can take that one away with you tonight and pass it around. One thing that we did talk about with Morgana was the one little thing, the changing of the one little thing, and that's what makes what if. I think these 2 episodes did that, and that's why I actually liked these 2 a lot better than I liked the last 2, because they did change one little thing. They changed, zombies. That's the one little thing, and then everybody acted according to their character with that one change. The Killmonger episode, they changed the one little thing. Tony Stark getting saved by Killmonger, who just happened, he just happened to be there, and that started an entire domino effect of what that would look like. So I thought that was very interesting to kind of have that revelation with Morgana, and then see the episodes literally, I mean, obviously not take our advice, but literally fall into line of what Morgana said, what makes what if good, is the one little thing. And I was like, okay, and this is why I liked these 2 episodes a lot more.
Yeah, it wasn't out of character, because that was, again, going back to the Doctor Strange episode, that was the thing we had one of the hardest times with, is it just was not in line with his personality and who the character was as it has been presented to us in the MCU. So we had a really hard time just buying the entire plot for that episode. And so, but I
had a ton
definitely
of friends who were like, oh my God, that episode made me cry. And me, I'm like, what, did I miss something? Like it was sad, but like, I was like, and I cried everything. I mean, I cried 6 times in How to Train Your Dragon 3. Not a joke.
Okay, I cried at the end of Luca, and I mean, that was I had that on in the background while doing work, so I was only half paying attention and I
but again,
cried,
it was hard to cry about something when you didn't really believe it. Like we had no reason to believe that Peter, that Stephen Strange actually loves this woman. Poor Rachel McAdams had like 3 lines in the whole show. They just looped it.
Creme brulee, okay?
Yeah, so it's like
sometimes that's all a girl wants is creme brulee.
We had no chance to become attached.
That's a personality traits, right?
Yeah, we had no chance to become attached to this relationship and then feel sad when it fell apart because we never saw it happen in the first place.
All women want are shoes and creme brulee. All right. Yeah. That's all we want. That's all we want to do is creme brulee.
That's what I have in my cheat sheet. I mean,
it's the new fondue.
Ooh.
But it's the new fondue. We creme brulee.
With fire.
But yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's ridiculous to take Stephen Strange, a character who I love, and assume that love and romance are a large part of his character because they just,
not even a little. They're just not.
Well, I mean, and you've seen in the comics, I mean, not like these have to sort of, not like these have to follow the comics or, be even close to them. But even in the comics, even when he does have a love interest, even when he does have a wife, a lot of the times he's not very emotionally attached to them at all.
No.
And that's one of his bigger issues. That's why he always ends up alone.
Right. I mean, he is the definition of a narcissist. I mean, and again, he's in the most positive way that a narcissist can be. I mean, he does help save people's lives, but he does it for glory a little bit,
and the reason why he has these romantic relationships is because he has intellectual interests with these, same intellectual interests with these women, but also because he's still human and he still has needs and he still wants to have companionship, even though he really isn't that well equipped to maintaining these companionships and relationships and stuff because of his work, because of the way that his mind is wired. So the fact that it was Stephen Strange loses his heart, I'm like,
no, don't buy it.
I don't care.
Right.
It wouldn't matter.
Right.
And they're saying that episode must be the most like, or I think that in the last episode are supposed to be like the most detrimental to the MCU because there are, you don't know about these rumors, and I don't know if I'm supposed to. Should I say it? Like, I mean, I don't know if it's fact or anything like that, but I don't know if
Tell me, Tyler.
I'm sure nothing's fact until, but what did the Reddit sphere say? What did the Reddit?
Don't want to, right? No, but I don't know if I don't want to ruin it for anybody or for y'all, unless y'all don't care. I mean, anyways. Spoiler alert, I guess maybe, but like, apparently the villain or the rumors, and it have been this for a while actually, was the villain of Doctor Strange in the blah 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 madness is evil Doctor Strange, is the anti Doctor Strange from this, and then now that this episode's out, everyone's like, oh, and so apparently it's supposed to be
interesting.
To bridge over.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, could be.
I mean, we have all the multiverses now, so thank you, Loki. And apparently
and it's called the multiverse of madness. That's what it is.
Multiverse of madness.
Because I keep wanting to say mountains of madness. I'm like, no, that's multiverse. That's something very different.
The mountains of madness, very different.
Yeah. It's Guillermo del Toro's baby. It'll never come out.
Yeah.
But also zombie Thanos with almost all of the all the infinity stones. That's not terrifying. That didn't
that's why it just takes me back to what I said in the very beginning. Why do they know how to fight and do all these crazy things and operate machinery and operate weaponry?
Well, according to the Wikipedia,
tell me, Lindsay,
in the Marvel Zombie comic series, they made a decision to have them still be mostly sentient. Apparently Kirkman made that decision to make them still understand. So they were starving and craving human food, but they're still functioning with essentially half a brain. So yeah,
Right.
that
So it's like a
to be fair
bloodlust.
was established in canon in the
Yeah.
comic book series.
I mean, granted, if they didn't do that, it would be a lot shorter, more boring series. They'll just be like,
Right.
you'll just see like,
the whole
you'll
thing
just see like
wouldn't have-
Iron Man.
It'd
and
also
you're
be
just
a
like,
lot
Iron Man,
easier to
shoot him in
kill
the
them.
face.
Though the question I wondered though is with Iron Man, couldn't his AI have, I don't know, overridden it and like taken back control of the suit?
How did I
The
not
AI
think of
got a
this?
virus.
Oh my
Period.
God. I didn't
Stop
even
it,
think
Linsay.
about
Stop
it.
blowing holes in the plot.
Well, because we just talked about
I
Vision.
I liked this episode.
You know, we talked
And
about Vision
drones.
being immune to it. I was like, but what about Tony's AI?
Oh
I
my
just
God.
said that I liked this episode.
I'm
Lindsay.
sorry,
Don't make me
Genevieve.
a
I'm sorry,
liar.
Tyler. I'm sorry to put cold water. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah. What's her name? Whatever her name is. Monday or like, right?
Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
Thursday.
Jennifer Connelly.
Friday.
Yeah. I didn't. Wow.
Because I mean, the cape
Wow.
still operated on its own
Okay.
accord. Anywho, so how
That's true.
about
Yeah.
Killmonger? Yeah. So now that
Now that
we're
we
zombies,
Yeah. Sorry. I apologize.
So now that we completely sank that ship, Killmonger.
Killmonger.
The monger
I liked
kills.
that episode. I thought that was really great. I actually turned to Steve and I was like, so Tony Stark better just be a complete a-hole throughout this whole thing. Like, you know, like,
right? Because he
or else I'm
never.
gonna be very mad. Because like honestly, if he didn't have that moment in, you know, if he didn't have that time in the cave and stuff, like he wouldn't have
Yeah, the
obviously
empathy and
because even after he like learned to empathize with other human beings, Tony Stark is a big problem character for me throughout the rest of the series. Like, it's not to say that he's not enigmatic, he's not likable, he's not funny, and Robert Downey Jr. does an amazing job, you know, portraying him. I mean, that character and RDJ are inseparable now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
iconic.
How
What
it's iconic.
are you talking about? Doolittle was like the biggest hit I've ever seen. What are you talking? I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, I can't believe he followed up his career as Tony Stark with that as the direct next film that he put out. How do you?
I mean, maybe he just wanted to do something different. You know,
You know,
sometimes
Lindsay, he did something different.
He did.
He did.
And I'm
You're
sure he
right.
got
He
paid
did
very
great
well
and did
for it.
Bad.
But yeah, like for me, he is. I still have problems with Tony Stark as a character. You know, he has his own private army. He does go against the decisions. He does act in countries without the blessings or the knowledge of the governments of those countries, especially if they are non-European countries. And you're just like, okay.
I mean, he is the epitome of the military industrial complex. I mean, he is what everyone complains about in war. I mean, talk to anybody with regards to like the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, and those of us that served, and a lot of the reports coming out now are saying one of the biggest problems with it was the private contractors that were on the ground that had no accountability, that had a shit ton of money and equipment, didn't have to report to the military on the ground, and just caused lots of problems.
Well,
and
they're the ones
people
making the money.
Yeah,
So,
and making a shit. They made way more money than I did. Let me tell you.
I don't know who to give credit to. I can't believe I forgot. But there's some. I know somebody who made a really great point about Iron Man or Tony, is that Tony was like everything that everybody feared around the world and also loved at the same time. And then he was also something that he loved about himself, but also hated about himself the entire time, which I think is actually like, I don't know. He's very problematic, but I think he's also probably the most him and Thor, I think, in my opinion, are like the most relatable as to like their feelings and events that happen. Because when you fall and destroy yourself like he does in like Iron Man 3, and you just feel so helpless and like, you know, like I feel like everybody's been there, especially with depression and stuff. And like Tony's journey has just been like all over the place. Obviously, like the events of what happened and very, you know, none of that has happened to any of us, but like we found ourselves in corners that he kind of like metaphorically put himself into that we can kind of think about, and like especially with Thor with loss and crazy, and like being a millennial, whatever, it's like everything's great and everything's gonna be yours and it's gonna be fantastic and nothing will go wrong, and then they're like, oh, you're an adult now, everything sucks, now get to Earth, you're banned. Like it's like figure out taxes. Like I like and,
adulting.
Adulting, and like I feel like those two are like the most in my opinion the most relatable out there. And then like I think Black Widow would have been, if they focused on her a little bit more, that would have been so much better. But I did love Black Widow the movie, I very much loved it. But I don't know, I've always I think Tony, especially like with Civil War, seeing all these different sides to him finally after grief, PTSD, and everything like that, and then now trying to set things right, hiding behind an act was really interesting. And seeing this episode where you see Tony go through nothing at all, basically still dealing with being the shadow of his father, is very apparent. And that's why one thing I loved about this episode actually was Killmonger and him talking about the future, and it being so much different than just Iron Man 1. And I thought that was like just the parallels were so cool in this. I loved it. Like it was so fascinating.
While I was watching it, I noticed it actually brought something about Tony Stark into sharp focus for me. And the Tony Stark that we get in the MCU is the American hero that audiences want. Tony Stark in this episode is the actual person that, if Tony Stark was a real human and actually existed, that's what he would be. You would not get the aha moment. You would not get the redemption arc or the realization that maybe earning money off of the backs of people who are dying in wars, off the backs of soldiers and refugees and all these people that you're upending their lives is wrong. Because a lot of the times people like that, people in positions of power and who have all of the money and all of the choices and all the freedoms, they can't conceptualize what it is to be without that, to be without choice, to be without freedom. It is not.
No one's ever said no to them.
It's not in their arsenal of thought. So why would they ever think about the other person when nobody has confronted them and asked them to do so, when nobody has ever been able to show them a real world example of what that's like. And that's why I think I was so excited about this episode, because I'm like, finally, we're going to see the Tony Stark that I know would be what we would be confronted with in the real world. They didn't back down on it, and I was really happy about that. I was like, okay, good, thank you. In some ways they tried, to make him have his like badass moments, and his like his fight at the end where he's like, I can hold my own for a little bit. But the only thing that I would have wanted was kind of a Watchmen moment where he is the comedian, and not Watchmen the movie, Watchmen the comic books, where it's the opening and the comedian is this once very strong and powerful man, but now he's older or more impotent
and reflecting,
and he's just getting his ass kicked because he just doesn't have the power to do that. He doesn't have the power to defend himself. I really wanted that moment of just pure impotence where it's just like, you have your money and your people behind you and the government behind you, and you have everybody saying yes to you all the time. Like, you've never
had to fight your own battles. You've always had
what's going to happen when you have a disadvantaged person who has had to scrape in, whether or not they're wrong, whether or not like what they're doing is wrong or not, but they've had to scrimp and scrape and survive and get these skills in order to get an ounce of power. What's going to happen when we put two of these people in a locked room together? I'm sorry, but somebody like Tony Stark would get their ass handed to them all of the
or they are very easily manipulated by the individual who has had to scrape by and knows how to get what he wants by scheming and everything. And the fact that Killmonger perfectly plays Tony to get exactly what he wants. And they keep the element of him very much in the films where his whole goal is to destroy Wakanda, and it's very heartbreaking. I will say I wanted to see more Shuri and Pepper Potts, honestly. I didn't like the cliffhanger. I would have loved to have seen them throughout. I'm like, really? The two people who are like throwing up the red flags, we only just get to see a little bit of them on the very end. Like, I would have loved to have seen their story of like trying to take down Killmonger and, well, now dead Tony Stark, but dead Tony Stark's military. It's like that was something I would have liked to have seen more of, though, because those are just two great characters as well.
I was actually going to say Pepper Potts was my favorite part of the episode, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
She was my favorite part. Like,
yeah.
I would love to see. I would love to have seen more of her. Absolutely, I agree.
It does definitely. For me, it was interesting because you also kind of question Pepper Potts and her motivations.
Yeah, like Tony's still a dick.
Because Tony's still a dick. She's still sticking by him. He's still profiting. He's still a war profiteer.
Yeah,
and you're just like, but are you really that good of a person, Pepper? I mean, like, I know it's your job. I guess that's what it comes down to is like, I know it's your job. A lot of people have the jobs that they do not exactly by choice. Yeah. However, would you still hold this person, like, with somebody who has a job, just because they kind of fell into it and it's not exactly by choice, but it's, whatever, it's the best of what they can do. And this is just, it's too late to put in applications anywhere else. Would you still hold Tony Stark as a person up on a pedestal? It's just strange.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself into her position. So like, I feel like, no matter what, she's still a businesswoman. She still wants to do her job and do it well and perfectly. And honestly, at the beginning of Iron Man, if you're going to work for somebody, Tony Stark is the future. So if you're going to go how can you go anywhere else if you're, besides the future, once you're already there? But I and that was the whole thing, because people are saying online and stuff like that. They're like, well, she's with him because she loves him. Like, I don't think she actually had any affection towards Tony Stark until the moment that she takes out and then the proof of Tony Stark has a heart. That's, I think, the moment where she finally is like, you have changed and you are somebody that I'm interested in. He definitely
didn't love this iteration of Tony Stark.
Absolutely not. I think why she stuck by him in this, because she was like, okay, he's been through a traumatic event. I could get a better job and be in a way less stressful environment, but she does still care about him as a person. And to see somebody that she does not trust with him, and he's about to lay down everything and literally gave him the COO spot on the spot for honestly, taking down his competition. Basically just told, he's like, Obadiah Stane tried to kill you. Oh, you're promoted. And she's just like, wait,
dude, I've been here the whole time. I run this office.
Hold on a minute.
There's a board. I don't know if you knew this, Tony, but there's a board. But like, and so like, I think what it is she's watching him break down, and she does still care about him as a person. And that's why she's still there. That's why I assume. And that's what I would probably have done the same thing. Be like, I really care about you as a person more than a boss. Please don't destroy your life. Like,
yeah, and they left that on a cliffhanger. So Wakanda may or may not have been destroyed. Shuri and Pepper may or may not have saved the world. We'll never know unless they make a sequel.
I thought the last episode was like a culmination of everything is tied together, because there's pictures of like Captain Carter and Doctor Strange together.
Okay, so they'll bring it back. Yeah, because next week
it was the first trailer too that showed that stuff.
Right. Or I guess this week, because this airs Friday, was about Thor being an only child. So then the subsequent weeks.
Party Thor. That was not dancing. I don't know what that was.
I guess the only thing that I was so expecting Killmonger to just like axe the king. I I was really surprised that didn't happen, to be honest. I guess he's playing obviously he's playing the long game, and that's going to come in the future. I think we don't really have any doubts that that's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it be he make it look like an accident,
Well, my whole thing
but
is
I was actually
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was actually surprised that we didn't see an on-screen revenge taking
of the king,
of the king, killing the king.
Yeah. Like my whole thing is like with Black Panther, Killmonger was really focused on Wakanda and then the rest of the world first. But this one, I couldn't tell what he was going after because he was obviously burning bridges. And I think like, with everybody, I think he knew they were going to find out because the robot or the whatever they are, they went down and then they went back up. Obviously, they're going to figure, the military going to figure out we're not controlling these people. It must be that guy who gave us the Wakanda technology stuff. Like,
right.
So like, I feel like that's why maybe he didn't kill him. So now, that's probably what it is. He didn't kill them so that the king, basically when the world is going after him, being like, yeah, you definitely just created a whole thing. Like you took over the military stuff and now you're a threat. So now they're harboring a fugitive and the king is like, but he's perfect. No, we're protecting him. Because if he killed the king and became a tyrant, then the world can actively put war onto Wakanda.
Right.
And this way, Wakanda's saying, no, he's fine. We're taking him on, like we're what's his name? The guy who works for the government and had all the secrets. Snowden. He's Snowden. We're protecting him now and they can't do anything. Sorry, that just clicked to me.
Until Shuri exposes everything, six the door Malaji on him, and
I might be wrong though, right? Like, do they? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. It sounded legit. There you go.
I bought it.
Yeah, that was just one of the things I'm like, what is the long game here? I mean, obviously it's it's the same as it was in Black Panther. The motivations they're still exactly the same, become king of Wakanda, world domination, racial supremacy, et cetera, as you do as a villain.
When you realize you're like the illegitimate son, and exactly.
But I do like that Andy Serkis made a return. That was fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, most of them did. Obviously, Tony Stark was played by the incredible voice actor Mick Wingert, who I love, who is a mentor. He's amazing.
He did a great job.
Yeah. So, he has been, Robert Downey Jr.'s voice match for Iron Man for a very long time. He's also Jack Black's voice match for the Kung Fu Pandas and some other stuff. So
it's him. Oh my God, I love him in the Kung Fu Panda show. Oh my God, I forgot what it's called now. Awesome. Something of awesome. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it was well done. I mean, it was well written. It was well acted. Just would have liked to have seen a little more Shuri. So maybe we'll see, with the, the culmination episodes or whatever, we'll finally get more women, but
Was that Letitia Wright was she in it?
Who?
Letitia Wright, isn't she Shuri?
In the show, I thought she did. I thought she reprised her role.
Nice.
Did she?
I have no idea.
I
don't know. Let's find out.
Right? I know. Live.
As I'm sure all of you who are watching know the answer to this.
It wasn't. Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't. No. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, you know what? Because she's young.
Oh, it was little Shuri.
That's right. Yes. She was little.
Yeah, it was little Shuri.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, so that's episodes 5 and 6, right? Yeah, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So I mean, 9, on the whole, we enjoyed them better than episodes 3 and 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, so much more.
I mean, the shows are kind of doing this. They hit a high note with Captain Carter, and then kind of dipped, and then we're kind of going back up, and then. Who's not going to love Party Thor? I'm sure that's going to be amazing, but right. I'm just like, it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Thor. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm so excited. Because I love damaged Thor. So I want to see an undamaged Thor.
Yeah. A Thor without Loki. What? Yeah.
Oh man.
Thor without baggage.
What? Yeah. Right. Oh God. I will say this. end game when he sees his mom, I just lost it. I was literally
oh my God.
My shirt was wet from like 10. I was just like, I cry all the time. I mean, God, don't sit next to me.
Were you very watching Lord of the Rings? Just trying to be like,
my shirt was literally wet because I cried a lot because I'm just thinking, I'm just like, God, seeing your mom after all this damage and just being like, Mom, like, I'm getting teared up right now. All right. Nope.
Yep. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Not going to do it. Oh, God.
Well, anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. And of course, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to think about these 2 episodes and the previous episodes. And if you'd like to see our breakdowns of episodes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, go back through our library. We break them all down, and I'm sure we'll be back again to finish out the series. And of course, Tyler, thank you so much for being on. And
thank you for having me.
Yes, we really enjoyed having you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you or any member of the Grand Geek Gathering on. Please, I'll plug it for you.
Check out their channel.
Yeah, go check out their channel. Tyler has an amazing channel called the Grand Geek Gathering, and they do some amazing things. Linsay and I have both been on the show before.
Most Extreme Ranking Challenge. You were
so
on Most Extreme
fun.
Ranking
Yes. And then of course at cons, when we see cons, we've got, it's the amazing panels you do for that, which we've both, had the pleasure of being on. So yeah.
I just did Rose City Comic-Con and I was like horrified and scared of doing it, but it was so safe and great. And I'll tell you about that after we record. It was amazing. Like,
yay.
So,
well, I'm going to Mountaineer Con this weekend. So hopefully fingers crossed, also safe and amazing. So
yeah, but oh man.
Awesome. Well, Genevieve, let's plug our channel.
Let's do the thing.
Let's do the thing we have to do on YouTube.
Right. So if you liked what you saw here, please give us a like, subscribe, comment down below, get into arguments in the comments, argue with me, argue with Linsay, tell me
he can take it.
Drag me for filth about my opinion.
Tell us you loved the Doctor Strange episode. Please tell us that.
Tell us you think that
and then Wonder Woman 1984 is the best movie ever. Yeah.
Right, exactly. All those
up there with Green Lantern.
right up there.
So close. So close.
So again, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you like what you see here, also ring that bell for notifications so you get notified every time that we update. We update every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we had a great time today, and I hope you guys did too. And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.